Hey guys, and welcome to my bank video after maxing. If you have not yet seen the video titled Maxed, please check it out before you check out this video. Anyways, when you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Kicking off with the bank video, I just want to say it's not very impressive. I'm not a rich player or anything, and I just have a very standard bank. At least for a max player, I don't think it's very impressive. Anyways, let's get into the bank. So the first tab is essentially just some basic teleports I use very often. And some pulse cores and my premier artifact from the Premier Club membership package, of course. The next tab is probably the most expensive tab in my entire bank. It's my PVM related tab. I have some random pouches in here that I use quite often. Like the Bunyip, yes, I used a Bunyip in 2019. A Steel Titan pouch with no scrolls apparently. Oh, the scrolls are here, but you know, it isn't very neat. I have some Nihil pouches I used at Nex, which are actually given to me by Slippy, some Yaks, some runes, my armor, which is sadly not augmented. My Saranic, I actually put it on before augmenting it, so RIP. I can't augment my Saranic, my Black Criminal Bolts, some Scrimshaws, some Chimchompas I used for the Abyss or multi-target hitting. My Virtus Armor, which is augmented with Enhanced Devoted, Crackling and such, then the non-augmented piece of course. My Virtus Robe Legs with Biting 2 and Venom Blood and Absorbative. Pretty decent perks in my opinion. My Kiln Cape, some Sharks here, my Augmented Royal Crossbow, which I barely use. Probably something I use in the wilderness very often because it's a low-cost weapon, so I don't really risk much. Next up is the Elderrune armor. Yes, I use Elderrune for melee because I don't use melee very often. I also have a non-augmented scythe here. I still need to augment it with Aftershock and such, so that it's just much better, and Precise 4 Equilibrium 2 of course. Which brings me to my other Nox weapons, which do have P5 Equilibrium 2. But no Aftershock, sadly. I should just put P4E2 on there with Aftershock because that is just much better. I also have Ascension Crossbows, which still are not augmented. I really need to get onto doing that. As for, you know, my other gear here, it's just some random gear like the Blood Fury, my Money Stack, my Cinderbanes, which I do truly love. They're amazing weapons. An Elderrune +5 sword, which I don't use often. Some AFKing armor, which is not augmented of course, because I would only use this for an area I just don't want anything that degrades or uses Divine Charge. And other than that, this tab is pretty much finished. I mean, I do have my Luck for the Dwarves here, because I always wear that. I don't have a Ring of Death yet. Some random Rocktails, some more Scrimshaws of Sacrifice for extra combat experience where you do not want the drops. Whoa, I just turned Scottish there for some reason. And the Grace of the Elves, and another Max Cape. So next up is my Dear Items and Capes tab. So essentially what this is just all the 99 capes I of course have because I'm maxed. A max cape, just an extra unhooded with a hood. Web Cloak of course, the best Halloween event ever, 2009, where you get that Eek Pet, which is also in this tab. My tea collection, which is still pretty small, but that was gifted to me on the first Double Experience weekend of, no, the last of 2018. I don't know anymore. But I was streaming and people gave me cups of tea and stuff, and that was funny. I also have Snow Parcels here. Crown of Seasons, which is pretty much the OG rare item, even though it's a very cheap one, which I have had for years and years in my bank. The Snow Overload plushie, which is amazing. Fish in the bag, you know, some stuff. And other than that, not very interesting stuff. So next up, another cool items tab, or how I would like to call it, just a fun items tab. So as you guys can see, some stuff I've been collected, some pets which you can drop and cannot summon through the pet interface, sadly, a random crystal teleport seed, flippers, just stuff I used to wear, some lucky items like the Godsword, I actually lost one of those, my Golden Barrows armor which I won, some stuff like this, the rings that you can turn you into the Barrows brothers, veteran hoods of course because my account is obviously older than 10 years, just random stuff, Star Fury bow, some event stuff that you can equip, again cool items, some coronets, heart balloon, you know, just random stuff which I do like and find cool. You know, salmon gloves look really good in game and just, you know, cool stuff. Let's move on to the next tab. So this is pretty much my PVM tab, but then items I don't really use anymore, or I use them for a equipment setup in a video, or just to show an example setup for, you know, a lower level player, mid-level player, just some gear, and some free-to-play gear is in here as well. Things that might be worth pointing out are maybe the demonic skull, which is randomly here, some perks, some tank gloves. Actually, there's nothing really special in here. Let's move on to the cluttered but skilling tab. So, lots of random stuff here and a bunch of free-to-play armors which have moved. God damn it. They moved. I don't know how, but I probably screwed something up. Anyways, some spirit gems. I usually destroy these days because, 120 summoning, I don't care for 200 million at all. So, I've been crushing all my charms since 120, which I got a year ago or more, or longer ago. Portable deposit boxes, which I could use for a future video, for money making sometimes. Some arrows, broad arrows for level 99 fletching. Some clue scrolls, I actually got master today. Just random stuff. Necklaces, which give you a chance for something. Some player-owned farm black dragon hides. Some urns I have left over, which I should probably sell. Some abyssal titan pouches, which I also have left over from my last 99, being rune crafting. Some energy, my crystal fishing rod with honed and furnace. Divine location, silverhawks. I probably have silverhawk down in here. My augmented crystal of hound dagger, which has wise free. I actually should put this here. More stuff. My outfits. I actually destroyed most of my outfits, as you guys can see here in the skill sets. I don't see a reason to keep them in the bank until I start training that skill. Let's say I train mining, I just retrieve them, use it. If I don't use it for a while, I'll just destroy it and leave it in here until I reclaim it. So yeah, this is pretty much just a skilling tab with lots of free-to-play armor inside. And finally, the potion tabs, which could be quite disappointing depending on your personal point of view of a potions tab. I should probably be making some more combination overloads, some overload salves and stuff like that. I only have some holy overload potions, some overloads, some extremes I've left over, some prayer renewals, which I still, or super prayer renewals. I use these quite often in conjunction with a normal overload, which I probably shouldn't be doing, but they give you a prayer potion and prayer renewal in one sip, which is just good. And, they're easy to bring along. They're cheap. They're great. Weapon poison plus. I don't use this too often anymore because the Cinderbanes pretty much poison the monster you're killing already passively. The weapon poison plus does add extra damage to that Cinderbane poison, so it stacks. But still, you don't have to bring the potions along if you're using Cinderbanes, generally speaking. Some other potions, the stuff in here isn't very interesting. So let's just move on to what my bank is probably worth. So let's just throw all of this stuff into a price checker. Now I do know most items will not be able to be price checked, but let's just see how much this is worth. So 465 million straight off the bat. As for my augmented items, I cannot put them in, but the Noxious Longbow is around 133 million. The staff is the same. Cinderbanes are probably 30 million. Cyrenaic is around 40 million, Virtus is probably the same, Grace of the Elves is around 30 million GP. So let me just calculate that for a second and I'll put the GP on screen. All in all, my bank is worth 1100 million GP. That's incredible. I actually never thought I'd have that much GP in my bank in total ever. So basically we have a 1 billion GP bank. That's probably double what I thought it was. So wow, that's actually that made me smile. Holy crap. That's really nice. Getting into the next part of this video, what are my goals now that I've maxed my account? I have a few listed on screen and I quickly want to go over these. So the first is a tier 92 weapon. Now these are very expensive items and what I originally wanted to do is go for 1 billion GP, a rebuild series for my channel to go for after maxing my account. I've been thinking about this for a long time, but a tier 92 weapon is probably a better option. So let's just say that goal is the tier 92 weapon, and once I do have the money, I will be buying that weapon. It's probably going to be a Siren Gold Bow, unless I go for a Staff of Sliske if I enjoy magic more at that point in time. The next goal is skilling pets. Now I do have quite a bunch of these, mostly the combat ones, but I do really want the willow pets, and that's why I'm going to be doing my daily div at the Ark on the Ancestral Energy, which is very AFK, and other than that I won't be training divination at all. Now another thing I want is another boss pet, preferably one I really like the look of, like Hellweir or maybe an Arax or Spider pet. The only boss pet I have right now is Rorek, the Dragon of Vindicta. So yeah, that's something I want to go for, and since I'll be PVMing for money, I'll probably get one. The next goals are 2 120 capes, thieving and mining. I plan to go for mining very slowly and the same for thieving, as I don't want to be grinding as much as I did when I went for max cape. I'm just going to take a chill. I'm already level 107 thieving and 101 mining. Now mining is going to be done at the Ark, mainly on the Alea crablets and at some animica ores maybe here and there if my Ark daily island thingy is up, because I don't want to be using supplies too much. As for thieving, it's probably just going to be done in the fortress in the wilderness, because that's very AFK and you only have to click 3 saves, which is just easy. Again, I'm not going to be rushing anything, and the next goal, which will be achieved if I do go for any of these 120s or get 200 mil defense finished and train a bit more overall, is 1.5 billion total experience. Now 1.5 billion experience is not too far away from where I'm at right now. I'm at 1.427 billion experience, being 1427 million experience in millions, so I'm only about 73 million experience off. That's a huge chunk of experience, but, you know, eventually I'll get there. As for comp cape, maybe, I'll just say I'll get it eventually, but I don't have any plans on grinding it out, doing tasks or quests whatsoever at the moment, but that might change in the future, just like I said when I said I would never max. I'm telling you guys right now, I will never comp. As for the future content on this channel, I will always base my channel around RuneScape 3 guides. RuneScape guides are what my channel has grown with, and the baseline of my channel's content. I like helping people out, I enjoy making guides, and I want to update and create new guides for as long as I live? As long as I enjoy making videos. As for a series, as you guys know, I'm very bad at keeping a series going. The only series I've finished to this point is the Road to Max series. Now I know this is stereotypical for RuneScape YouTubers to do after maxing, is doing a rebuild series to build up my bank to what it used to be. Now it was not anything impressive before, but it did have more GP. So rebuild to 1 bill or Road to Tier 92 weapon series is probably incoming. I'm not promising anything though, as I might not find the time or interest in making a series. As if I'm being honest, a series regarding my main account is pretty time consuming. I don't know what it is with keeping your recorder ready to record. It's still something that is pretty hard for me personally. But maybe I'll make a challenge/new account series. Who knows? These are just some ideas and things I thought about while going for max cape. Now, PVM related content in general is something you might be seeing a big increase of on my channel. I have thought about streaming on Twitch or YouTube, but I don't want to promise anything just yet, because I don't know if I'm ready to put that commitment into streaming every week, being at least 2 times a week, because otherwise, you know, occasionally streaming is probably just, it won't be that enjoyable, because you'd see me hop from account progress to account to boss to, I don't know. I'll see. Now before I end the video off, I want to make it clear I will be playing much less RuneScape. But, hear me out, by playing less RuneScape I mean AFKing less at school. The time I play RuneScape every week will probably stay the same in my free time, though I just don't want to be AFKing constantly at school and, you know, being half focused on school, half focused on the game. Even when AFKing, it's just distracting, and I should not be doing that anymore now that I've got my max cape. It's just not a good idea to do. So I'm just going to take that chill and just enjoy RuneScape to the fullest in my free time when I'm actually playing the game and not AFKing. Anyways, on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.